Wetin dey happen my people? Una don land o for where correct gist no dey ever dry. If you dey find better story wey go sweet your belle, shock your brain and still touch your heart, na here you dey. Make you relax, balance well, hold your popcorn or zobo because today matter no be child's play at all. Dis one go make you shout, wetin be dis? E go pepper you for body, e go carry you go another level. So no scroll, no skip, no go anywhere o. Welcome to the drama. Wetin go make woman wey just marry begin regret her marriage? Na when the mother-in-law show face uninvited. Juliana think say she don hammer better husband, belle don enter, love full everywhere, but one knock for door changed everything. Na so trouble take waka enter her house. How it all started. Juliana has always dreamed of getting married to a man who values her and loves her unconditionally. She knew being a wife comes with so many responsibilities, which includes carrying a baby. That alone was going to change her beautiful shape. So she needed a man who would love her and appreciate her all through her journey through pregnancy. God heard her prayers. Juliana was lucky to get married to Alex. Alex wasn't so wealthy, but he was really comfortable. He had met Juliana in an event where she made a tasty cake. Alex spoke to Juliana then. One thing led to another, till Alex took her to the altar to say, I do. Juliana took in the first month after her marriage to Alex. Alex was the kindest and most intentional man Juliana had ever met. It's been 6 months already, and Juliana's stomach has shown. Ever since Juliana took in, Alex never wanted or allowed her to do any strenuous work. He cherished and adored her. Juliana was sitting on the sofa inside the sitting room. She was already feeling dizzy. She decided to clean up the house. She came out with a broom when the door opened. Babe, what are you doing with a broom? Alex asked with a broom raised. Nothing, sir, Juliana said and dropped the broom. She folded her lips and made a face. You stubborn big baby. I told you not to stress yourself, right? You heard what the doctor said. You don't have to do anything strenuous. But that was supposed to be for the first few weeks of the pregnancy, honey, Juliana said. Alex walked closer to his wife and he looked her into her eyes. Then he held her hands. Babe, for my sake, don't just do anything. I don't want to know if it's just a few weeks or a few months. You and what you are carrying mean the world to me, okay? Alex said softly to Juliana, who nodded her head and was expecting a kiss from her husband. But he moved back and started laughing at her because she closed her eyes. Come and kiss me. Come and kiss me now, Juliana said and started running after her husband. Alex ran into the room and Juliana followed him. She won and got what she wanted. Alex's phone started ringing. He picked it up and left the house immediately. He had come back to pick something and got distracted by his wife. When he left in a haste, Juliana was so happy. She finally found her dream man, and she just hoped it lasts forever. She stood up and still picked up the broom from where she kept it and swept out the house, even though it wasn't really dirty. She was just becoming so lazy. Even though she loved the baby girl's treatment, she still wanted to be a bit fruitful. Juliana couldn't make dinner because her husband has told her not to enter the kitchen. He said he would be the one cooking for her, and when he would come home late, he would buy food outside for her. That day, Alex came back early because he wanted to make dinner. Alex was welcomed by a warm hug from his wife. She collected what he got and went into the kitchen with it. Alex sat on the sofa to rest. He was going to go to make food when his wife was done setting the place. Someone knocked on the door. Alex wasn't expecting anyone. "Who is it?" Alex asked as soon as he got to the door. "It's me, Abisola, your mother," the voice said from the door. Alex opened the door in absolute astonishment. "Mama, how? What happened? You came? Welcome, Mama," Alex said and collected the little bag his mother was carrying. "Mama, you came all alone? You didn't tell me you were coming," Alex said as he shut the door, looking at his mother. "I will answer all your questions in due time. Where is my daughter-in-law?" Mrs. Abisola asked. "She's in the kitchen." "Babe, babe, Mama is here," Alex shouted from the sitting room. "Mama, welcome. You came to visit us?" Juliana said, hugging her mother-in-law and looking at her husband with question written all over her face. Mrs. Abisola sat in the sitting room, speaking with her son, while Juliana was in the kitchen making dinner. She was not happy at all. She wondered why her husband invited his mother over without letting her know. She never imagined she was going to be the one to make dinner. Now, her uninvited mother-in-law just inconvenienced her. Juliana squeezed her face in anger as she prepared dinner. Why is she here? Of all time to come. Now that I'm enjoying my marriage. Now that I can't have my freedom with my husband and he won't do things for me anymore, Juliana said to herself. She remained in the kitchen till she was done cooking. When she finished, she served dinner. Mrs. Abisola, who had already taken her shower, joined them on the dining and they all ate together. After dinner, Juliana retired to her room and waited for her husband impatiently. Alex walked into the room after speaking with his mother. He made sure she retired before him. Why didn't you tell me Mama was coming? Juliana asked, raising her brows at Alex, who just walked into the room. Do you mean my mother coming to my house is a bad thing? She's my mother. Besides, I'm not aware she was coming either. I just saw her and I was surprised. I can't ask my mom why she came to my house. I don't think that question is right, Alex said and lay down on the bed. I know he's lying. He must have planned this. Maybe he's already tired of doing everything for me and he called his mother. That is why he didn't help me make dinner. Juliana thought within herself, looking at her husband, who just slept off immediately without petting her first, as usual. The next morning, before Juliana woke up, her husband had already left the house. That was the first time it was happening, and it just started after her mother-in-law came. Juliana came out of her room and realized that her mother-in-law was still inside the guest room, probably sleeping. Her husband didn't even make breakfast for her before leaving as he does. She picked up her phone to call her husband. What if he sees me as a nagging woman? What if I ask why he didn't make breakfast? Now, I have to cater for myself and his mother, Juliana said to herself, making a face. Juliana made breakfast for herself and her mother-in-law. When she was done in the kitchen, she came out and met her mother-in-law already sitting inside the sitting room. She greeted Juliana with so much joy on her lips, but Juliana thinks she was pretending. Maybe both she and her husband were hiding something from her. One thing was sure, she was going to find out. Juliana dressed up and left her house to see her friend Kate. Kate was already in her makeup shop. She just opened and yet to receive any customer. Welcome, Juliana. Have you come to make your nails? Kate asked, Juliana smiling. My nails? You know I just made them last week. Something is troubling me and I decided to share it with you, Juliana said to Kate and sat down on an empty seat. Kate and Juliana were best of friends. Juliana was lucky to find her dream man, while Kate was still single and searching. But Juliana always updated Kate about everything going on under her matrimonial roof. My mother-in-law came to my house yesterday without any information. My husband didn't make dinner as usual because of his mother's presence. Can you imagine my husband left the house this morning without even checking up on me or making breakfast? This is why I don't like mother-in-laws. Those people can add sand to your garri. How can she even come without your permission? That woman wouldn't allow her son to do anything for me anymore. Your husband will focus on his mother now, and all those bedroom play you do with your husband all over the house has come to an end. If I were you, I will show her pepper till she goes back to her own husband's house. Besides, you are still pregnant and haven't given birth yet. Even if you do, it's your mother who should come take care of you, not your mother-in-law. What do you think I can do to make her go back to her husband's house? Juliana asked Kate. Kate drew closer and whispered some things into Juliana's ear. That woman needs to go back to her husband's house. She needs to allow me and my husband to enjoy our privacy in peace. For this advice, I will do some makeover. Let me be your first customer. Take care of my nails, please. Juliana said and stretched out her hand with smile all over her face like she just won a lottery. Juliana stayed at Kate's place till 5 p.m. In less than an hour, her husband was going to be home and she needed to get home before him. She waved goodbye to Kate and promised to do exactly what she told her then. She left. Juliana got back home and met her mother-in-law lying down on the sofa inside the sitting room. She quickly dropped what she was holding and tapped her mother-in-law on her legs. Please stand up. This sofa is meant for sitting down, not lying down. You should go into the guest room if you are feeling sleepy, Juliana said harshly. Mrs. Abisola sat up looking at Juliana. Juliana hissed and walked into her room. She undressed and entered into the kitchen. She saw her mother-in-law had dished her some quantity of food from her pot and eating. Juliana got so angry. She walked back into the sitting room. Who asked you to dip your hands into my pot? Who even gave you permission to enter into my kitchen? Juliana asked her mother-in-law. I'm sorry. You didn't serve me any food before leaving the house. I don't have enough airtime to call you. I didn't know where you went to. Time was going and I got hungry. So you decided to go into my pot. You couldn't even wait till I come back. This is my husband's house. And that kitchen belongs to me. If you always want to enter into a kitchen, go back to your own husband's house, okay? Juliana said in a harsh tone with her eyes open. Everything going on was still a shock to Mrs. Abisola. Juliana, who worshipped her before her son got married to her, was the one speaking to her like she was her house help. She was speechless and just kept staring at Juliana. Let today be the first and last you would enter into my kitchen again without my permission. If you like, tell your son what I said. You will see what I will do to you, Juliana said to her mother-in-law and walked back into her room. Alex came back home about an hour ago. He met his wife watching a movie in the sitting room. She didn't even care to greet him. Alex greeted his wife, but she didn't respond. He gave a deep sigh and walked towards the guest room to check on his mother. When he got there, his mother was already asleep. Alex walked back to the sitting room to find out why his wife was suddenly behaving strange with him. Babe, I called you and you didn't pick up your call. Why? Alex asked, taking a seat beside his wife. Why should I pick your call? You left the house this morning without even checking on me and you wanted me to pick your call? What is wrong with you, babe? You didn't even ask me why I left the house without checking up on you. You don't even care if anything went wrong with me or not. I called you at intervals, but you never picked any of my calls. Why the sudden change of attitude? Is it because my mother is here? Alex asked, raising his brow. I should be asking you that. Why the sudden change of attitude? Your mother came and you changed instantly. You know what? I'm not in the mood to argue. I'll be going inside to take my shower and sleep. See you tomorrow morning, Alex said and went into the room. When Juliana was at Kate's shop, her husband kept on calling her, but Kate told her not to pick up. One of the advice Kate gave Juliana was to give her husband a hard time. Juliana sat on the sofa inside the sitting room. Her mind was telling her that the attitude she was putting up wasn't right, but then she had to follow her friend's advice. It has never disappointed her. Alex was really upset with the behavior his wife was putting up, but he was already surprised his mother hasn't told him why she had visited them with her bag without any prior information. What if my wife is acting based on her hormones? Maybe I need to speak to Mama and know why she came. If there is something going on, then I can try to sort it out. I don't like the atmosphere in my house. Alex thought within himself. He wanted to speak with his pregnant wife, but he thought it wise to speak with his mother first. His wife wasn't going to be a hard nut to crack. He stood up and went to the sitting room to check on his wife. He found that she was already fast asleep on the cushioned chair. He carried her and placed her on the bed quietly and allowed her to sleep. The next morning, when Juliana woke up, Alex has already made breakfast for her and kept it beside her. She wondered how she found herself on the bed. She was the type that slept deeply and didn't realize when her husband had carried her. Now, this is the husband I got married to. I know Kate's advice always work out. This is just the beginning. When I'm done, that woman will go back to her own husband's house, Juliana said, smiling to herself. She stood up and left to brush her teeth. Juliana saw her mother-in-law sitting down on the cushion inside the living room. She walked towards her. You are awake now. I know the next thing you want is food. If I don't give you food now, you will dip your hand into my pot. Listen, if you want to eat under my roof, you have to work. I can't carry this pregnancy and serve you. It's not done anywhere. Pick up a broom and sweep the house. My own mother swept her house. I'm sure you also swept your husband's house. So sweep this place and wash the plate you left in the kitchen sink. Juliana said harshly to Mrs. Abisola. What is going on with you, Juliana? Why are you speaking to me in such a tone? Mrs. Abisola asked, standing up from the sofa. Why did you come here? If you were in your husband's house, would I have spoken to you? Why did you come to interrupt my privacy with my husband? Why are you here, this woman? Juliana asked, trying to provoke Mrs. Abisola to get her to talk. Mrs. Abisola got angry with the way Juliana was speaking to her. She raised her hand in anger and suddenly gained control over herself. Juliana fell on the floor shouting, You slapped me under my husband's roof. You will leave my house today. I will tell my husband you slapped me. It's either you leave or me in this house, Juliana said and walked into her room. Mrs. Abisola was surprised with the way Juliana reacted. She didn't even touch her as she fell down. She didn't want any trouble. She went into the kitchen and washed the plate she used yesterday that was still inside the sink. Then she picked a broom and began to sweep the house. Kate, you are just the best. Everything is working as you said it would. I now control them all. But one thing that I'm sure about is the fact that that old woman will leave my house whether she likes it or not. She can't just come without my information. This is my home and I'm in charge, Juliana said and adjusted her blouse. It was evening time already and almost time for Alex to come back home. Juliana served her mother-in-law food. After making use of some foul words, Mrs. Abisola was so hungry because she hasn't eaten anything since that morning. She decided to just remain that way to avoid troubles from Juliana, who seems to be having so much of it. She ate the food Juliana had served her. She was done. She took the plate into the kitchen and washed it herself. Then she went back into her room. Juliana sat on the sofa inside the sitting room, waiting impatiently for her husband to come back. She was prepared for a new drama. Alex opened the door and walked into the house. He saw his wife sitting on the sofa with tears streaming down her cheeks. He was so concerned and wondered why she was crying. He walked towards her and sat beside her. Baby, what's the problem? Why are you crying? Is the baby kicking so hard? What's the problem? Talk to me, please. Alex said, holding his wife. Mama slapped me, Juliana said and started crying the more. What do you mean by Mama slapped you? Alex asked his wife, trying to understand what she was saying. Your mother slapped me. It's either she leaves this house or I leave this minute, Juliana said and stood up from where she was seated. Hey my people, this story go long o. Tell me, wetin go happen for episode 2 as episode 1 don finish like dis? Write am for comment section wetin you think say go happen for episode 2. As Juliana don lie say im mother-in-law slap am. Okay, comment am for section make I hear your opinion. Thank you for watching this story. Hi besties, tell me what you think about this story in the comment section as episode 2 will be coming your way shortly. Like this story, share this story to someone who might be interested, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another part your way. Bye.